Washington News at 5.
Texas Senator John Cornyn is calling on his supporters to donate money following last week's announcement that MJ Hegar has entered the 2020 race. Hegar, who is a former military helicopter pilot, lost her congressional bid in 2018 against Williamson County Republican John Carter. Here to talk about this is Ed Espinoza from Texas and Andy Hogue with the Travis County Republican Party. Thank you both for being here.
Good to be here.
You bet.
So, Ed, if MJ Hegar couldn't win a congressional race, what are her chances, do you think, of winning a statewide campaign?
Yeah, and that's kind of the question of the day, is somebody who ran for Congress running statewide. But I think the important thing to remember in Texas is that some of these districts are so heavily gerrymandered that it would take a miracle for them to win these seats. And even in that instance, MJ Hegar came within 3 points of winning that seat. So now she's running statewide where candidates cannot hide behind gerrymandered lines, and it can be a bit more of an open contest. And heading into a presidential year, I think she has a good job at making her case.
Andy, do you see MJ Hegar getting backing for a Senate run after losing a congressional race?
I see it as about the same. Now, this time we're ready. I don't think Williamson County and the areas north expected John Carter to have to put up a fight, but he still won the election outright. However, this time MJ Hegar doesn't have the advantage she had in her previous run. And I'm just going to say it, I haven't heard word one about her movie. Previously, I heard Angelina Jolie was going to play her, but I haven't heard anything about that since. So she might not have the backing that she had from the Hollywood establishment last cycle, and it's going to be a lot harder run with a wider swath of all of Texas this time. So I'd like to see her try to beat John Cornyn.
Well, Ed, what do you think? Is Senator Cornyn's Senate seat in jeopardy?
Well, I think, look, Texas is a changing state, much like Williamson County is a changing county. Texas is one of the fastest growing states in America, and most of the people are moving here from other states. You also have people who are coming of age and starting to vote in Texas. So that is changing the landscape. That's why you saw Democrats pick up 14 seats in the legislature and 2 seats in Congress last year. 5 seats the year before that in the legislature. So this is going to be a tough race. Texas itself is turning into a battleground state now, and MJ Hegar is going to pick up from where Beto O'Rourke left off. By the way, she had similar fundraising strength as Beto O'Rourke did 2 years earlier. So this is going to be a good race to watch, and it may be as close as the one was in 2018.
Andy, you touched on this earlier. Senator Cornyn has called Hegar Hollywood Hegar. Will voters scrutinize where her campaign contributions are coming from?
Well, I think anytime we can see donations coming from out of state and a large number of those, we can always scrutinize that. But the main thing I would scrutinize is her values. Let's look at where she stands and what she stands for. It's not any different than either Democrat running before or now in 2020. We're going to just see more of the same, and Texans will see what she stands for and vote against it. I don't think there's been enough of a demographic shift, with all due respect to Ed's prognosticative abilities. I just don't think it hasn't been enough to really change the difference for a statewide Democrat.
Ed, what is it going to take for MJ Hegar to win this race?
So it's going to take funding. And by the way, Republicans will talk about out-of-state funding regardless of how much they raise themselves. Ted Cruz raised more out-of-state than Beto O'Rourke did in 2018, and Ted Cruz kept talking about out-of-state money. It'll be the same thing in this race. And what it will take for MJ Hegar is not only the funds to compete in media markets and to run a ground campaign, but also to bring out those voters who normally don't participate in Texas elections. Many voters who are new voters or just new to Texas. Mobilizing those people in urban areas and suburban areas like Williamson County is going to be the key to victory for MJ Hegar. Let's not forget South Texas and the Latino vote as well.
Okay, we're running out of time, but Andy, what is it going to take for Senator Cornyn to keep his seat?
Well, I think you can run a default campaign and still carry a very bare majority, but we can't take any race for granted, and I think 2018 taught us that, especially in Williamson County.
All right. Andy, Ed, thank you both for sharing your perspectives with us tonight.
Thanks.